I asked earlier. I was trying to I was asking if you're a pioneer, man, because why don't people it's so important, and why don't people understand this stuff? Like grown adults, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Don't even understand the breakdown process of soil and all this stuff. Why is it really important? Maybe that's why I'm trying to say because to you it's obvious, hey, let's use this yard waste and not let it,
Well, because it's a natural resource that we got an abundance of, that we don't have to tear apart the earth to go get it. You know what I mean? We don't have to dig it out of the ground.
Mining companies.
Yeah, we don't. Right, we don't have to. It's here. We're growing it in trees. We can recycle all these things. Whether it's the peanut husk, whether it's the almond husks. All the byproducts that come from agriculture. Whether it's the gas, whether it's the sugarcane residues. All this stuff can be recycled and put into and that's how our company name Universal Biocarbon came about. Because in my name, I said, well, universal means we can do so many things with it, right? And biocarbon is what we're dealing with, is a biocarbon. So,
amazing.
So I said, well, that's why I said it's not just it's so important in soil that we can do this so that we have for future generations we have the ability to do that. But more importantly, we're also sequestering carbon. We're reducing CO from the atmosphere, because when you take living carbon from the plants and you put it back into the earth, you bury it back as a soil matrix. Now that's carbon negative because you didn't burn it, it didn't lay in nature, didn't go to the atmosphere again, because now you put it back into the earth, so you resequestered it. And so they know that carbon will stay in soil for millennia, so that's why by doing that, we're putting the carbon, we're building the soil back up. We're not just depleting the soil, we're building the soil. So we need to figure out ways to recycle as much of this green waste residues as we can back into those things, so that we can create, more sustainable landscaping, more sustainable golf courses, because golf courses, are not fully sustainable now, because they basically pour massive amounts of chemicals and fertilizers on golf courses to keep them green,
Could they, with all the work you do, could they be sustainable, do you think?
Well, yeah, I've been trying to get an appointment with. They're building a couple big golf courses in Martin County with Tiger Woods and I think somebody else, Michael Jordan or somebody else. They're building 2 or 3 big golf courses, and I said that they needed to trying to get a meeting with them so that they could basically amend the golf courses before they finish them because that's sand in Martin County up there is horrible soil. Horrible. Yeah. It's just all sandy.
It's Jonathan Dickinson Park.
It's just sand and so.
So you're trying to get an appointment with them.
Yeah, so that they could, before they finish the golf, before they lay all the sod down and all the grass down, it's going to be hard to put it in there.
I agree. You should, because they're going to put a lot of fertilizers on that.
Yeah.
I think what you're talking about, man, and tell me if I'm wrong, it's better practices. You know what I mean? Agricultural practices, landscaping practices, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it is.
Absolutely. We need to develop those procedural things within the agricultural market, within the landscape market here. The landscapers are the guys that do all the work.
Yeah.
All they have to do is say to the customer, listen, this is another thing that you can do. For another $100 or another $300 in your lawn, I'm installing this landscaping. It would make sense for another $300 that we put in additional compost and biofertilizers in there, so that your landscape. Now, what owner that's spending maybe $10, $12, $13, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 on a landscape for their home isn't going to say, yeah, of course I'll spend even another $1,000 or $2,000 for the sustainability, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and the result is better.
Oh my God, the thing is going to be, the flowers are going to be always blooming, the grass is going to be greener, and you're going to be using less irrigation.
We're in the garden. It's existential.